polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, we will be going over my first Color Pass box from Orly. Now, what that is each season, Orly releases a new 6-piece collection. The one that I signed up under is in the spring collection. So this is the spring 2021 collection, and it's called Day Trippin'. So there will be 6 polishes that we're going to swatch today, and the way that it works with the Color Pass is every time that they release a seasonal collection, they'll get sent to you. I believe the idea is it's supposed to be before general release. So if you want any more details, I'll try to remember to post them in the description box down below. And one of the other fun things about the Color Pass is that every month you're going to get a couple of bonus items in there. So we'll go over those as well, but let's dig into the collection. So as I said, the collection's called Day Trippin', and it's got these really fun, very funky colors, sort of this 70s vibe that they were going for. So this first one here is sort of like a milky peachy coral almost, not quite terracotta. It doesn't have enough brown in it. It's definitely like a peachy tone. This one is called Can You Dig It? The orange is a very bright orange. This is definitely not in the color range that I've been collecting over the last year and a half or so. This one is called Kitsch You Later. The yellow, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I don't have a lot of yellows, so this will definitely stand out in my collection. The yellow in this collection is called Here Comes the Sun. Then they've got this beautiful vintage sort of aqua color. This one is called Happy Camper. Then they've got this dark teal color. This one is called Let the Good Times Roll. And then the darkest shade is this very dark purple looking shade. This one is called Feeling Foxy. Alright, so those were the 6 colors that came out in the Day Trippin' collection. The bonuses for this month was the Orly Bonder base coat. I do believe I have one of these already, but I think I got it in a D-stash, so I'm excited to try a brand new bottle and see how I like it. The second bonus item was a little keychain. This one has that little saying that was on the orange polish, Catch you later. It is a little bonus item, and I have heard that they will sometimes do lotions or cuticle creams, things like that. So I'm curious to see what will be sent out in the coming seasons. So let's get into the swatches of this. We're going to swatch them on this nail ring here, and if you're curious about the colors that are already on this swatch wheel, these here were in a haul video that I did a while back. I will try to post that down below or maybe up here in the cards. And then these were from an ethereal haul that I did a while back as well. I actually filmed that back in November, but then came back and did swatches before I uploaded it, so you can see that here as well. Alright, so now we are ready for the swatches. So the first one is going to be the pink. Like I said in the outset, this one is called Can You Dig It? And this is an interesting shade because I wanted to say terracotta when I first saw it, but it's definitely pinker than that. It is a milky shade, so I'm curious to see how this is going to look once it's swatched. And again, that one was called Can You Dig It? So 2 things that I really like about the Orly bottles are the brushes and the bottle caps themselves. Oh my goodness, look at how creamy this is. Wow, that is one coat, you guys. One coat. My goodness, that is opaque. So the brushes are a nice flat paddle brush. I'm not sure if you got a good view on that. Let me just clean off the brush. But they're a nice wide paddle brush, not too wide. A third to a quarter the size of the swatch nail there, and the caps are rubberized, so that makes it really nice to open the bottles. So look at that color. That is so creamy and opaque. I can't even see through it at all, even if I tried. I bet you this would be a one coater on most people. So smooth to apply as well. Now I'm thinking I would describe this as kind of a creamy salmon, and I don't know if I have anything quite like it in my collection, which is pretty interesting. And I don't think it needs a second coat, so we're just going to leave it right there. So again, this one was called Can You Dig It? And that's a very nice color. I like that. We're off to a good start. Now we're going to do the orange. Look at how bright this is. This is definitely the brightest orange I think in my entire collection. And this is the Kitschulator. Another creamy formula here. This one's not quite as opaque, I feel, as the first one. But look at how bright that is. That is definitely verging on neon in my opinion. I definitely don't have anything that bright so far. I think the closest thing bright wise is a green that I have that, again, in my opinion, leans a bit on the neon side of things, but I also have never bought a neon collection, so this one is definitely the brightest in my collection, especially of oranges. It's a very interesting shade of orange, very nice for the summer I think, and I'll be curious to see how the collection all plays together as far as the colors go. So we will be doing a second coat on Kitschulator. I do see just a few bald spots that I want to even out, but it is definitely still a rather opaque polish. And there you go, that second coat is all you would need. Unless you have very, very long nails or wind up doing very thin coats, I think 2 coats should do you. Another one very unique to my collection, like I said, I don't have anything nearly so bright. On that second coat though, I will say it seems to sort of tame it down ever so slightly. That could just be my imagination though. But it is a nice color. I think I will definitely be giving this a try. To me, this one is more of a summer color, but that is mainly because I don't wear brights like this all that often, so I think if I did, it would usually be in the summertime. So that was 2 coats of Kitschulator, and these seem to be drying fairly shiny, which is really awesome. Now we're going to do the yellow. This one is Here Comes the Sun. Now this does seem to be, in the bottle anyways, sort of a mustard leaning yellow, which is awesome. Those have been the yellows that I've been drawn to so far. I still have yet to try any on my nails, so we'll have to fix that here soon. This one I feel is kind of like the orange, not quite as one coater opaque as that pink one, but still rather opaque. I think if you had very short nails, you could probably get away with 1 coat. In fact, it's self-leveling pretty nicely, in fact. The little bits of bald spots that I thought I was seeing, I really don't see anymore, so that's really impressive. The formula is definitely very smooth and nice and easy to work with. I'm seeing in person, if I look really, really closely, little tiny bits of bald spot right there, but I mean, you have to be really up close and really looking for it, so really not bad. But we'll go ahead and do a second coat of that one. And actually, I think on this one you might want to do a second coat, because look at that. That definitely deepens it up a bit. That's beautiful. Yellow is definitely one of those colors that I'm still learning to appreciate in certain things. And I do like it sometimes in fall clothing and whatnot, but on my nails it isn't one of those ones that I'm really drawn to. But in this shade range with just that pinch of mustard in it, it definitely tones it down enough that it doesn't feel like a really intensely bright color. Sort of reminds me of the Crayola crayon color Marigold. I think that one will be very nice again for summer or maybe even early spring. We'll have to see how that one compares to something like China Glaze Mustard the Courage. But beautiful. I actually really like that. That's a nice color. So that again was Here Comes the Sun, and that was 2 coats. Next, we're getting into my comfort zone as far as colors go. This is a beautiful aqua, and this one is called Happy Camper. Love shades like this. This is definitely more of the colors that I have a tendency of wearing. And this one I think is also going to be in that formula of the orange and yellow, where I'm probably going to want to do 2 coats. But it's also a lot of a lighter shade as well, so you probably want that second coat to sort of fill out the color on your nails. I think it looks really nice next to that yellow as well. We're definitely starting to have a really nice lineup. Definitely a 70s retro feeling for sure. Very cool. So let's go ahead and do a second coat. There we go. This is filling out that color quite nicely. Got a little bit of fuzz or something in there, trying to work that out. There we go, beautiful shade. Now I could see this one being a little bit less opaque than the other ones. If you have really long nails, you might want to go in with a third coat, but it's a beautiful shade at 2, sort of a light minty aqua. It's got just a pinch of green in there. This is definitely much more springy in my mind. These other colors to me almost lean fall-ish, except for the orange, of course. The orange is definitely more of a summer shade, so rather an interesting collection of colors that they put together for the spring. Well, one of the things that I have been noticing about their collections is they definitely like to curate groups of colors that work well together for a theme, and that's definitely an interesting way of putting together a collection, so you end up with collections that work really nicely together and should make for some very fun nail art. In fact, this did come, their little card, it did come with some nail art suggestions there on the bottom, which seemed like they could be really fun to try out. I think I like this color right there. You start with the lightest and go up to darkest. Really fun. So we're actually going to go ahead and do a third of this aqua shade. This one doesn't seem to be as self-leveling. Now I could have been a bit rushed to do that second coat, but as you can see, it is sort of pulling down the edges of the nail on the nail ring. Like I said, I could have been a bit impatient with getting that second coat on. But the formula is very nice. I'm really liking this color. There we go, so that is a third coat. Very milky aqua color. I think this one is going to be a nice one for spring for sure. So this was 3 coats of Happy Camper. Now into some of the darker shades, and definitely interesting ones for a spring collection. This one is called Let the Good Times Roll, and this is their teal. This is beautiful. Now this is going back to the same sort of formula as the first one for their pink, which was Can You Dig It? This one I think you could most likely get away with just 1 coat. Really beautiful color. Love that one. That one again is getting into the colors that I wear a lot more often. It is sort of a dusty shade and definitely a lot darker than the other ones. Beautiful color there. And I think I will be leaving it at 1 coat. I really don't think it needs a second one. So that was just 1 coat of Let the Good Times Roll. Up next is the darkest one in the collection. This one is called Feeling Foxy. Now this one I have seen people say basically looks black on the nail, so I am curious to see how it shows up in person. In the bottle I definitely am seeing sort of this deep dusty purple. Let's see how it swatches. Very, very deep. Wow. This one might need a second coat depending on your application, but look at how rich that is. That is going to be a beautiful fall shade for sure. I definitely see purple, but I could see this being a kind of polish that, depending on your lighting, looks black on the nails. Really pretty color though, nice tone. And like I said, it is a little bit dusty, which you know I like. Hopefully that color is showing up on camera as the purple that I'm seeing. Just to sort of compare it to my camera lens here. Not sure if that's helping at all, but there you go. So that was just 1 coat of Feeling Foxy. So there you have it. That was the Orly Day Trippin collection. We've got Can You Dig It, which is their salmony coral color. Kitchulator, which is their bright orange, almost safety orange, but not quite as glaringly bright of an orange. So that was Kitchulator. The yellow is Here Comes the Sun. The lovely creamy aqua is Happy Camper. The dark dusty teal is Let the Good Times Roll. And the very dark and dusty purple color was Feeling Foxy. So like I said, really fun collection. I think they have a really good eye for pulling together collections that fit a theme, and this definitely is a mood all on its own. I think we might go ahead and give that nail art here a try on this last little nail ring. So let's see. It looks like I'm not sure how to do that on a real nail. If you start with one solid color and then start with the tips and work your way, unless they mean it this way. Well, I'm not really sure how they mean this to go. I was thinking that the yellow would be like this on your nail, but it almost seems like it would be easier the way that they're having you layer them for it to be on your nail this way. Curious. Well, I do like the layers of colors that they have though, the yellow orange to their Can You Dig It, which is that pinky tone, and then to Feeling Foxy. I think those colors look really nice together. So let's see if we can't replicate that a bit. So according to the diagram, we're going to do one full coat in our base color, which in this case is going to be Feeling Foxy. Like I said, beautiful, rich, dusty purple tone. Very nice. So now we're going to add a layer of the pink salmon tone, which is Can You Dig It? Now I think you could probably be a little bit neater if you actually did this with some French tip guides. That would definitely keep things nice and in line. But you can also do somewhat of an abstract idea here. And this pink is definitely opaque enough to cover up that dark purple, as you can see there. No problems at all. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll come back with our orange shade, which is Kitsch You Later. So now we're going to do a coat of Kitsch You Later. Ooh, these look so nice together. I really would never have thought of putting these colors together, but they look rather nice. Now you're definitely going to be getting a layered look, which will hopefully be fixed by a top coat, but look at how neat that looks. That's very retro. So we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back with our last color. Alright, so I let those dry for a few minutes. Wanted to make sure that they were nice and dry before I applied the light yellow. And that one again was Here Comes the Sun. Very retro with this mustard shade. So cool looking. Like I said, this is definitely not a look I would have thought to do, especially with these colors, but very fun. I think these would definitely be easier for people with long nails. I think if you've got shorter nails, this is going to be a little bit more complicated, but you could pare it down to just 3 colors and do it that way instead. But that's about how you're going to look there. A very fun look. We're going to go ahead and top coat this. Today I'm using the top coat from Vapid. This one is their High Shine Quick Dry Top Coat. We're going to try not to smear this, and I already did. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. I didn't wait long enough. That's what I get for trying to hurry. I didn't let the yellow dry enough, and I definitely dragged some yellow down there. Definitely creates an interesting swirl on there, but that's not the look we were going for. In any case, you can see that the top coat definitely evens it out a bit, makes it look a little bit tied together so that you don't have the big gaps between the different colors that you had layered. Altogether, I think that's a really fun technique to use. You can do it with a bunch of different colors, pair them together with contrasting colors like they did here, or pair it with like a gradient look with all the same colors, like different shades of blue, different shades of green, reds, pinks, etc. So really fun look there. So one last look at the Day Tripping collection. Again, this was the Spring 2021 collection from Orly. Let me know what you thought down below. Any other nail art ideas that you see with these colors together. Like I said, very retro inspired for sure, very fun. Let me know if you have the collection and which one are your favorites. If not, let me know which ones you're thinking about getting. And while you're here, make sure to like and subscribe for more nail polish videos here on my channel, and I'll see you in that next one.